Good morning. Today we are in Cultas Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada, and this is kind of a nice park. This is our first stop after leaving Bronte Provincial Park in southern Ontario, where we spent the summer, and now we're on our way out west, and we stayed here one night. It's actually a very nice park. It's wooded. You can see the coach over there. You know, it's pretty open to the other campsites because of the type of trees that are here, and which is okay. You know, everyone's friendly, but there's not a lot of privacy. It's really quite nice here. We went for a walk down to the beach. We went to the lookout point, and we saw the Chutes Falls, where they used to do logging, and they used to build a flume. They had a flume there where they used to run the logs over the rapids back in the logging industry days. After that, the girls went down to the beach and went swimming, and I stayed behind and did a little work on the coach. And we had a really pleasant night. So the next day, we're traveling off to Sault Ste. Marie, and we pulled off into a school parking lot, dropped the car. The girls went and did a little shopping, and I walked Lexi, and then we headed up to Blueberry Hill campsite. I didn't take any pictures there. It was just a stop for the night. It was a very dusty park, a lot of full-timers in there, and everybody had an ATV and they were all going somewhere with it all day long. And we felt a little out of place there. We'd walk around, everyone's just staring at us. So I didn't take any pictures. I never had a great experience there. But I would still recommend it as an overnight stop if you need a place to stop north of Sault Ste. Marie, because it's definitely a nice and easy in and easy out, right back on the highway, and off you go. So the next leg of the trip, we're headed north, and we're headed up to Marathon. So we're driving along the north side of Lake Superior around Wawa, and we decided to pull over at a rest area and check out a scenic view. And this happens. Not good. So I've checked it out underneath, and the linkage between the motor and the step is skipping, and all of it looks pretty rough. So I'm going to replace the whole thing, the linkage and the motor. The steps are still good. So after I disconnected the linkage, I bungee corded it up, and we headed up to Marathon. Beautiful campsite, lots of room, great drive-through, big picnic table to sit on a cement pad, just a great site. And then when you look out, you see a lake. And it was really a nice time there. We enjoyed that immensely. As you can see, we're all smiling. We're just walking around having a good time. It was a nice place. A few shots of the lake here. Very peaceful, very relaxing. My genius daughter, Christina. And here are the family park rules. I found it quite funny that the last rule is no swearing. I don't know, it just seems odd to have a rule like that these days. Like, do you really have to say it? But I guess you do. So we're just taking a few poses in front of the big sign there. We really did enjoy this place. And of course, you're in bear country, so be bear wise. Next day, we're headed up towards Wabigoon Lake. This is another drive-through spot, good overnight. All the spots are pull-through. All spots are 15, 30, and 50 amp. And definitely, I would definitely recommend stopping here for a night. And it was a cheap price, too, if I recall. And then we're off to Winnipeg. Yay, we hit Manitoba. This is where we met our good friend Jim Bertrand for the first time. What a great person that is. Hopefully someday you'll all get to meet him, but what a great guy. And after meeting Jim, we headed off to our campground. And this was a very tight campground, but we still got in with the Jeep hooked up. Took a beautiful picture in the evening, had a nice meal there. And then we're off to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Another reasonably tight site, but it was nice. And The sites were definitely what they were meant to be. Straight pull through, stay a night, keep going. And then we're off to Alberta. In Alberta, we stayed at City Campground. All of the campgrounds I'll list in the description below. This was a good campground. It was a little down in the front, and the fact that we didn't have steps, we had to raise our front up to be level. And it was a little awkward, but there was some really unique carvings all through the park, and it was very nice and very well kept and clean. And today we're going to make it to BC. So leaving Alberta, you can see all the solar panels there. I was quite surprised by that. And Alberta's flat. And you can see in the distance, we're just starting to see the mountains. And here we are, I believe we're just pulled over fueling up. And then we get to Yoho National Park, which is the border with BC. As you can see, my daughter Christina was quite excited to get there. She's an engineering student at BC, and she was just going there for her first year. We're dropping her off. And I got to say, I was pretty excited too. Of course, I had to get a coach picture near the mountains. And the next campground was in Golden, BC. It was also a nice park. You know, relatively spacious, good hard ground to drive on. Carol's out there cleaning the windshield. She cleaned the windshield at every stop. We had a spotless windshield every morning. And we had a nice meal there and wandered around. Beautiful spot. Again, watch for the bears. And now we're going down to Merritt, BC, which will get us within striking range of Chilliwack, BC, where we'll be staying. We intentionally want to stop just short of Chilliwack for the night so that we could just have an easy drive the next day. And another beautiful site. Really enjoyed it there. But the next morning we get up and started the motor, and look at this. Not good. So the rad is leaking. What are we going to do? I called around. You know, I didn't really know what to do other than look in the phone book for rad shops. I called around. I called one place. There was no answer. I called another place and they said, oh, we don't do that. Did you call so-and-so? And I can't recall the name of the rad shop that we called. But we had the best experience ever there. And I'm definitely going to put their name in the description below. If you need a rad or any work done and you're around Merritt, BC, these guys are awesome. I called them up and they said, well, you're not far. Just drive it over here and we'll have a look at it. So we did. We got there. We met two really nice guys, the owner of the shop and one of his workers. And they checked it out and they said, well, we could build you a rad if you wanted. They do a lot of work with huge dump trucks. And we'll build you a rad if you can hang around for a week. And we said, well, we can't. We have to bring our daughter to UBC and she has to be there on Monday, and now it's Friday. So we have to get there somehow. So one of them looked at the other and said, should we give him the magic stuff? The other guy said, sure, I think we should. And I went, magic stuff? So they went out and they got this stuff called jet flow, and they put it in the rad. And within 2 minutes, the rad stopped leaking. And I said, how long is this going to last? He says, oh, go drive around the U.S., you know, enjoy your winter, and come back and we'll get a new rad in here in the spring. And I thought, well, that's great. That'll get us to Vancouver. So we left there very happy and thankful that we broke down in front of a place, you know, really close to a place that could help us out. And we made it to Cultas Lake, which is the first Thousand Trails park we've stayed at. If you're not familiar with Thousand Trails, you can Google it. Maybe we'll make a video about it someday. But it is a system of around 200 parks throughout the U.S. and one in Canada, where once you buy your membership, you can stay at all these parks for free. And you pay an annual maintenance fee, of course. But this is the first Thousand Trails we stayed at, and after about a month we went back up to Merritt and had our rad replaced. They made us a custom copper rad. Unbelievable the work they did. Really, really appreciate those guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed a quick trip across Canada with us. It was an adventure, you know. First the step went, then the rad, but we made it. We still made it on schedule, and we got Christina off to UBC. Take care, everyone. Bye now.